There's some breaking news that came across my feed last night. I think I shared it with you guys in our group text for the show. Bryson DeChambeau potentially not re-signing with LIV Golf. He put out a request for something like $280 million, and the PIF is not interested. They passed. They're not looking for, I don't know, to cough up that kind of dough for this guy. Listen, I think he's worth it. I think in terms of name and stardom, he is hands down probably the biggest name in golf right now, but $280 million doesn't do it for him. And then I go back on my feeds this morning and someone else is saying it's been completely debunked. This isn't a contract year for him, that his contract goes through the entire next season, and the earliest we could potentially see him on the PGA Tour would be 2027. So there's a lot of information flying around right now, but $280 million, do you think that number could even be remotely true?
Well, what did he sign for now? Do you know what he's currently at?
The original contract, and again, all this stuff is not public. So it's all speculative, and there's sort of these numbers that float around, but it was always talked that Bryson went for $120 million for his first contract. That was a US Open ago. You know, that was one less major. That is before he became one of the top YouTubers in all of golf YouTube. And, you know, obviously golfing with the president, breaking 50, all this stuff. He's not hitting over his house, which is like a cultural phenomenon. I do think his brand value has gone up without a doubt.
Well, do you think he's a better golfer than Jon Rahm? And how much did Jon Rahm sign for?
Well, there was that talk of around a $400 million number for Jon Rahm. He signed that deal just coming off of his Masters win. You know, do we say Masters holds more value than a US Open win? That's up for dispute. I mean, you know, a major is a major. I mean, I would say maybe US Open over PGA Championship, maybe, but US Open over the Masters in terms of brand value. But here's what I will say. I think Jon Rahm maybe potentially is a better golfer overall. I don't think he holds a candle to Bryson DeChambeau's star power and who he brings out to events, bringing eyeballs to their new TV contract on Fox, bringing people out, buying tickets and showing up on site to watch the golf be played. Maybe that's his number. Maybe he needs to be in the $400 million range. I don't know. Can we get him on the phone? Josh, call up Bryson. Let's get him on the phone here.
Let me call him up. Can you imagine we just call him up? You're like, what's up?
It'd be great. Like, my classic line, hey, Bryson, Dan here. Hey,
Bryson,
Dan.
Dan here.
This better not be about salty balls.
Oh, no. But I definitely think he is worth the money. I mean, he draws the crowds. If he gets back on, say he goes to PGA Tour.
Yeah.
Everyone loves him now.
Absolutely.
We're going to talk about it a little bit later in the episode, but if you haven't seen the episode about him on Full Swing,
yeah,
he could go anywhere. He could go golf on the mini tours and he'll blow it up.
Oh, but listen, he won Paige Sporanic back. You know, and again, we'll get into that Full Swing. That's coming up later on in the show. But it's true. He's evolved the person who he is and has become sort of like the hero of golf.
Mm-hmm.
And so now here's a question that I do throw in with that. We don't know which is true. Was there an offer made? Is his contract not up? Either way, what happens to LIV if they lose a powerhouse name like a Bryson DeChambeau or a Brooks Koepka? Some of the guys who signed on very early, top players within that league. If they go, what happens? I mean, Dustin Johnson, you know, has not been playing like the Dustin Johnson we used to know when he was winning majors, when he was number one in the world. We're not seeing that golf come out of him. Phil Mickelson obviously belongs on the Mount Rushmore of golf, in my opinion, is not finishing, you know, in the top 5, top 10 at LIV Golf. What happens to these powerhouse players if LIV Golf loses them?
I think it just slowly just goes away.
Well, and what also happens to their negotiating power with PGA Tour?
They're probably going to be like, we'll buy it. I think
you're saying what's LIV's negotiating power or the individual players?
I would say, you know, LIV's negotiating power is we're sort of trudging through the muck of this never-ending deal where the greatest players in golf are all trying to come back together and play, you know, in the same events together. Their sort of leverage, to me, is drastically diminished if they lose guys like Bryson DeChambeau and Brooks Koepka. I mean, the numbers have to change completely, in my opinion.
Oh, well, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, definitely. Like that's the only thing that LIV has going for them is their big star power, right?
Yeah.
Because it's not eyeballs. Eyeballs are still on PGA. I mean, they're pulling some eyeballs away from PGA. They're obviously the number 2 largest, but they're not competing as far as that goes. They're obviously spending a lot more money. PGA has had to bring up the amount because it's in which that was a whole crock that they just found more money all of a sudden that they could start paying these guys more for winning.
Was there like a briefcase in a closet that they forgot about? Like,
no, it was just all of their coffers were keeping full. They're like, oh wait, I guess we can't just keep raking all the money for ourselves.
Spread it around a hair.
Right. But yeah, I think for sure that based on the numbers of who are the players, how many eyeballs are coming in to LIV, that is what their whole negotiating power is. So like, here's I have a list here and I want you guys to kind of go with this. Who do you think? I mean, because I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different players.
Okay.
That are huge on LIV. Can we name all 8 of those?
I'll give it a go.
Okay.
So I would say, of course, we have already listed Bryson.
Yep.
Brooks.
Yep.
Phil.
Yep.
Dustin.
Yep.
Rahm. Joaquin Neiman.
Didn't make the list, but yep.
Shocking. The only one getting a special exemption invitation into like the US Open and things. Okay, so I'm still only at 5. Bubba Watson.
Not on here.
Wow.
Not on the list. Which, you know what? He has not been playing at his best either. Let's see here. Cam Smith.
Yep.
Okay, so we're at 6. I've got 2 more. I got 2 left.
You've got him for sure.
I know I've got them. It's just racking my brain to come up with them. Let's see, going through the teams, teams.
So this guy, he had a really good year in 2017.
2017. Oh my goodness, that might have thrown me off even more.
Ryder Cup. Think Ryder Cup. Think Masters. 2017 Masters. Like, let's see if you can pull it from that.
The 2 guys is the 2017, 2018 Masters.
That is true.
Oh
yeah.
my God.
So these 2.
Hey, Gary.
Yeah.
Could you take us back? And listen, for those of you who are curious, Gary is gone on a ski trip right now. So he's joining us via this beautiful portrait he sent me while he was taking a pre-skiing poop.
What's so funny is, so last week on the pod, like, he's talking about how he was leaving straight from shooting the pod. He was heading to Colorado.
Yeah, that night.
And
bags loaded.
Right away. And like, he's talking about all these places that he's going to go golf at. And like, he's going to try and golf here. And
Patrick Reed,
which isn't that the highest elevation?
No, Patrick Reed. Is that one of the players I missed?
Oh, Patrick Reed.
Oh my God.
Okay, keep going. Keep going. I'm sorry. Patrick.
Yes,
I got
Patrick
one
Reed
last
has won it.
Taylor Gooch.
No.
Damn it.
Oh
There's
my
one
goodness.
more. I'm stuck on this.
All right,
got
so
one left.
here's the reading behind it, right? The 2017 Masters champion and Ryder Cup stalwart was among the early European players to join LIV Golf.
Oh, I know Sergio Garcia.
Bing
Thank
bong.
you.
Yep,
Thank
there
you.
go. Yeah.
All right.
So,
I didn't do
nice
too
job.
bad.
No, you did great. You got them all. I mean, that was the only one I kind of helped you with,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
yeah, that was great.
And I don't know what that one escaped me for the moment, but of course Sergio Garcia. Wow.
But yeah, I mean, to kind of circle back on that, obviously LIV has spent a ton of money to get these stars to go over there.
Yeah.
An absolute ton of money. So them keeping the stars is that's what's going to keep LIV relevant to PGA. If all of those names, those 8 names that leave, they go back to PGA, what does LIV have?
Yeah.
Speakers on a golf course?
Right. I mean, that's it. It's this alternative golf format with mediocre names if they lose from that list.
The stars. Which, again, I love the alternative golf. Like,
I totally do.
I absolutely love LIV. It is so much fun. I think it's the wave of the future. It's not, I mean, Masters is historic, has been around forever, but that's not what the future is.
Right. And I don't think Masters should add music on course. And I don't think, I think each thing is beautiful for what it is.
Yep.
And just like Waste Management, like I love what that is. It's the People's Open. I mean, it's fun. It's wild. The infrastructure they build out there at the TPC Scottsdale, like that is so fun. I don't think that needs to be changed either and be treated like the Masters.
And I don't want Waste Management every week.
True. Very true.
Like, I love Waste Management, but I don't want to watch it again and again and again and again.
Yeah.
Well, and I think that's what makes the golf calendar so colorful and fun is you have these events that happen throughout the year, or Ryder Cup every other year, that are just exciting. Like, it's exciting to watch the Waste Management, the iconic 16th hole in the stadium, all that stuff, whatever. Like, that is so fun to watch and experience. But again, not every single week.
And then they give you weeks off with tournaments like the Mexico Open.
That is not nice.
Wow.
Like, just the shade.